Yo, what's up? This big Bludshot of the almighty LBE Knockout Crew, and you are now tuned into the Gahhd Cast. Fuck with us.
CNN. Welcome world, episode 71 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. It's just me and my brother Blood today.
Okay, special edition episode.
And of course the brother F is in the building. Shout out to Straight Fuego Studio. Make sure you follow him at EFNR711 for all your studio needs.
Facts.
Now,
Word.
we started this episode with a CNN song that shit takes me back to the summer of 1997, after high school, pre-army. What was that? Wow. What was that park we went to? That pool in New York.
FDR Park in New York. Matter of fact, my middle child is up there for the summer, and she's in FDR Park today in the pool.
Awesome. See how the universe brings everything back. Shout out to FDR Park. Shout out to all my Last Breath brothers. Shout out to all my GAHHD brothers. Shout out to CNN for making that classic track.
Facts.
Welcome to episode 71 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. I am Brother Burnz. Like I said, I got international blood on the check-in.
Yo, man, that shit brought back memories. Like, I remember how I was feeling when we was pumping that shit.
I remember you played that song as you dropped me off in Jersey City to the Army recruiter office because I was leaving like that day, nigga. And then
we was all blowed and shit
on a fucking incredible adventure.
A world tour.
Look at me now. Oh man. Anyway, shout out to the brother V.S. He couldn't be here today. He's out handling some family business.
Shout out to the bro.
Shout out and happy birthday to baby girl Aaliyah.
Thank you so much.
Love
14, man.
14 years old. That's crazy.
Can't believe it. I got a letter that I wrote to her real quick. I had to take a trip to county. You know, I was acting out in my youth. Yeah. When
you was a jit.
When I was a jitterbug, I wrote a letter to her.
Is that what jit is for? Short for?
Yeah, for jitterbug. Yeah, jit.
Shit.
See, come on, man.
Good to
it ain't
know.
just making up shit.
I thought y'all Florida niggas just made up a word.
Nah. You know, I wrote a letter to her. I promised to myself that I was going to keep it and give it to her when she turned 14. She's with her mom today, but when I get her tomorrow, I'm going to give her the letter. It's been 14 years in the making, so crazy story right there.
That's
yeah,
damn, that's deep, bro. Have you reread it?
Yeah, man.
Good, man.
No, I sealed it. Yeah, I sealed it. I don't know what, to this day, I maybe got some ideas of what I was writing to her, you know, because I was sitting in the box, but it has to be all uplifting shit, you know?
Good, man. Good. Shout out to her. Happy birthday to her. Shout out to all the breath babies. Shout out to all the daughters, all the sons. Shout out to all the wifeys. Shout out to everybody checking in on Spotify. Shout out to everybody checking in on Apple Music. Shout out to everybody checking in on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment. Shout out to everybody following the socials on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you're following at GAHHD_podcast. Make sure you're following, like I said, the brother Ephraim at EphraimR711 for studio time. Make sure you're following the brother at Deadass_worldwide. Make sure you're following at the real _V.S.O.P on Twitter. And make sure you're following at callme_Joseph_.
Excellent.
Let's get the bad news out of the way because I want to get on to happier news. Well, actually, everything on my list
Welcome
is
to
bad
2021.
news.
Damn.
Fuck. All right, let's start with the worst of the news. R.I.P. Biz Markie, man. We lost another legend in 2021. One of the most creative, off-the-wall, original MCs in hip-hop. You know, he probably birthed a lot of MCs that we see. You know, ODB came from Biz Markie. I would even say like a Tyler the Creator comes from a Biz Markie. You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking more like Busta Rhymes, but
Busta Rhymes
Tyler,
definitely
absolutely.
also. You know, he had diabetes and I believe he suffered a heart attack. So shout out to him. Rest in peace to him. Prayers and love to his family and friends. And everybody make sure you go see your doctor, get yourself checked out. You know, if you happen to have diabetes, if it runs in your family, it is a genetic disease. Make sure you're following your diet, you're taking your insulin shots, and just be careful out there, y'all. It's 2021, and I feel like a mosquito bite will kill you. You know what I mean? Like, it's so unpredictable. You never know. You trip and fall, and you just gonna pass away. So be careful out there. Shout out again to Biz Markie. Shout out to the Juice Crew. Hopefully they'll put something dope together for him. Maybe like a little Juice Crew reunion concert or something. And I'll be looking forward to that, man. Definitely. I mean, Just a Friend is like low key mad people's favorite song that they don't even know about. You know what I mean? Like, I'll if you ever ask me what's your favorite song, I'll never say Just a Friend. But if you play Just a Friend, I'm gonna sing that shit like if I wrote it. You know what I mean?
Come on, absolutely.
So
and it's funny because I posted that he's kind of poking fun at himself, but that was like the real first look at like introspective hip hop, storytelling at the same time, and he was having fun with it, but at the same time he was being real with it. Yeah. So real dope track. There's a remix I also wrote on the post that these two DJs from New York back in the day from the Bronx, DJ Double R, Ray Double R, and G-Bo the Pro. They used to have their little series of mixtapes, and I think it was Double R16. They had the remix with Just a Friend, and they put The Far Side on there. So they did The Far Side with the Just a Friend beat, and that shit came out bananas, man.
Shout out to DJ Double R and GoPro or G Pro, I don't remember, but those are classic mixtapes. I remember they had one where they were mixing like Gravediggers and Wu-Tang or some shit in the intro, and yo, I think I look for that mixtape at least once a year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
me too. I'll be looking.
Looking.
I follow one of them, so I'm gonna see if I forward you the info. See if we could dig up some classic shit.
Yeah, definitely. Dope. Like, I think those might have been the first DJs that I was a fan of. You know what I mean? And then like Clue and Juice and First Class and them. But they were doing like First Class shit before First Class.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, mixing and shit.
So definitely shout out to them, man. I would love to get them on the show and just to give them their flowers, because I appreciated what they were doing DJ wise so much back then. My cousin Anthony, shout out to him. He had he's actually the one who put me on. He had one of their tapes. It might have been Double R17 or some shit. It might have been right in that range, and I tried to steal it, and he caught me.
I feel you, man. I used to try to steal my cousin's shit all the time too.
Shout out to him and shout out to them.
That's funny. Just a Friend, and also I want to shout out the track Vapors, because that's another cautionary tale, and it's, you know, a classic one by Biz.
Yeah, and Picking Boogers. Not so much a classic track, but a funny ass, nasty ass song.
Yeah, funny ass cat. Rest in peace, man. No more suffering. He's in Teg's mansion right now.
Exactly, man. Rest in peace again to him, and prayers and condolences to his family and friends. In other bad news, we've spoken a lot recently about Lil Durk and his penchant for being followed by violence and or death. There's even like a YouTube video that says Lil Durk is cursed and stay away from him or you're gonna die.
What? That's crazy.
Very recently, this week, a few days ago, someone broke into his home, and Lil Durk and his wifey, India something, shout out to her, I'm sorry, I don't know your last name, but they actually were both shooting back at the people that broke into the house, so they was both busting their guns. So shout out to her for being ride or die. Shout out to Lil Durk for protecting home. Shout out to both of them for still being alive. And I regret constantly having to talk about Lil Durk and it being related to violence or death. Like, I want to come in here one day and be like, yo, Lil Durk just dropped the album, is the number one in the world, and that's the end of the news.
Yeah. Well, you remember we was talking about it where we said, you know, he needs to get away from kind of that gang culture situation, or he might be a victim of it himself. And look, it just so happens that this situation happens to him. And was that in Atlanta or was that in Chicago?
No, it was in Atlanta, in his home in Atlanta.
Man,
but
so, he needs to like.
I still believe in karma and the universe, bro. If you put out violence and you put out death, you know, whether in your lyrics or in your thinking or in your mentality or how you carry yourself, whatever it is, you know, whatever you put out, the universe is going to give back tenfold.
So if you're putting out, live by the gun, die by the gun.
Yeah, if you put out death, you're going to get death, and you know, I do not wish death on anyone, and I would hate to have to report anything so tragic happening to Lil Durk, but I think he needs to check his mindset, check the message that he's putting out. And again, it's tough because that's the message that brought him to the dance. You know what I mean? He's built a fan base based off music, based off violence. So it's hard to just say, hey, leave that alone, because what the fuck he gonna rap about then? You know what I mean? But I don't know, a cleansing, a baptism, something, some brujeria. Yeah, rub the egg. Yeah, some santeria. Rub the egg all over him. You know how they do.
Blow some cigar smoke.
Something, yeah. Because damn, bro, like he's very talented. He's very loved.
He's a young legend.
He's got an incredible fan base. He's got an incredible reach, and he's just got this dark cloud that follows him. And I would hate to one day report that it rained on him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like he needs to do more like, you know, how he had that track with Drake, you know, maybe work more with an artist like that. Lil Baby's kind of become a little bit more mainstream. Even The Baby got this one song on repeat right now that shit just got shit on Smash. And it's a mainstream ass song, so, you know, you don't always got to go with the gang shit, you know? You could change up.
He even had the album with Lil Baby. They dropped a collab album recently. The Voice the Voice and the Hero, some shit like that.
Something like that, the Hero. But even that is, some of it is a little dark, you know, dark material, you know. But I don't know, man.
Prayers up to Durk. Prayers up to India. Shout out to both of them, like I said, for protecting home, standing their ground, and hopefully violence will leave them alone.
Hopefully.
Speaking of violence, you reported that last night 2 people were shot on Dykeman.
Yes, man. Uptown New York, Dykeman, right before you get into the Bronx, has been a hotbed for just like, you know, cats getting robbed and murdered recently. And it's crazy because that's a whole new kind of like Soho situation up there. There's all clubs, all restaurants, and Summer 21 has just been spicy, man. So I know a couple of weeks ago, a couple people got shot out there. One of them died in a BMW. They got robbed for their chain. And then same thing last night. 2 people got shot out on Dykeman. And you know, we don't need that stuff, man. We don't.
Is it that is it just the wolves out there? Because you're saying it's Club Central, Party Central, restaurant. Everybody's going out there getting jiggy, putting on their jewelry. They got money in their pocket. It seems to me like you're shooting fish in a barrel right there. Like, that's easy money.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think it's also a lot of people sense that there's not a real police presence since what has been going on from 2020 coming into this year. New York has kind of like gone up in violence. You know, the crime rate has gone up in a major way. The murder rate as well. Everywhere, every borough, and it just so happens that, you know, Manhattan is one of them as well. And even though it was that way back in the day, things have changed. So, you know, we're regressing back to those days. So New York is going to be to where you can't even go and visit anymore.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just on Dykeman celebrating my daughter's baptism last month. So imagine some shit. I mean, it was broad daylight. I don't think it's that serious where they're shooting people in broad daylight, but the possibility, you know, of getting caught in the crossfire is just terrifying, you know? Me being with my daughters, my family, you know? Right on Dykeman, we was out there. So it's crazy, man.
Yeah, bro. Thieves don't respect time constraint. You know what I mean? They don't only punch in at 8 and clock out at 5 a.m. or some shit.
Exactly.
So everybody has to be careful. And I think the pandemic, it's not being spoken enough about the effects it had on people's mental health and the difficulty that they're having readjusting back into post-pandemic life. Not only that, like, I think there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers that been locked up in their house, crazier than me and you, that been locked in their house, possibly like plotting and just waiting to get bucky and violent and shit, and now they out there. And I think people are so happy to be back outside that they're slacking. They're not on point. You know what I mean? Like, they're just happy and shit, happy-go-lucky. And God bless you, because I wish the day would come that I could just be happy-go-lucky. But you have to be on point. You have to be diligent, especially when you're out in a Dykeman-like area. You know what I mean? Where there's a lot of people.
Third eye, you know? Yeah, guarding the rear.
A lot of traffic, a lot of, like I said, a lot of money, a lot of jewelry, you know, a lot of opportunity for the wolves, for the thieves, you know, to come up. And not only that, just opportunity for crazy niggas that ain't got nothing better to do to go do something and entertain themselves. You know what I mean?
And like I said, you know, the fact that the police presence is changed, and the economy, like, you know, a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people, you know, lost their jobs during the pandemic. So who knows who's out there doing what, you know? And it's just one of those casualties from 2020 coming over into 2021.
Hell yeah. Hungry dogs gotta eat, bro.
Fact.
You know what I mean? No matter where they're feeding from, they're gonna find something to eat. So to anybody that's out there, you know, I know a lot of us are anxious to go out there and hit the streets and mingle and you know, grab a drink or grab a titty, whatever it is. Y'all gotta be careful, bro. Y'all gotta be careful out there, man. Keep your eyes open, you know, watch your back, watch your friends' back. Ladies, y'all out here with your homegirls, make sure they're safe. Keep, you know, protect each other's. There's a lot of crazies out there, man, and you know, we don't wanna constantly report on victims of violence. That shit gets tiring, bro. Like, anyway, moving on. A documentary was recently released by Vice detailing the late 1990s police corruption scandal in West New York, New Jersey. What? Have you watched it?
Shout out to the town.
January.
You seen it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Very interesting. Yes, sir. Yes.
Shout out to Mayor Gabriel Rodriguez. If you watch the documentary, they show the sign that says "Welcome to West New York" and it says Mayor Gabe Rodriguez. I thought that was super cool. But the rest of the documentary was not super cool.
Brought back memories.
Yeah, that for sure.
Brought back memories, man.
That for sure, but it's a reminder that there are people that get put into positions of power that then get corrupted. You know what I mean?
Yes. Very true. Very, very, very
whether
true.
Whether it's by the money or by, whatever the case may be, they get corrupted. And I mean, the whole police force was corrupted. Like,
I was going to say, not only that, not only the fact that they could be corrupted, but that they can be swayed by another group, So, obviously everyone that grew up in either Hudson County or West New York, New Jersey knows that is very influenced by Cuban culture, Shout out Cuba and everything that's going on with them. But
big shout out
just to pivot back to this, there's a Cuban mafia, Cuban underworld.
Were you aware of this back in the day?
Yes, I was. Yes,
I just found this out with the documentary. I didn't know nothing about the Cuban mafia in West New York.
Yeah, Cuban mafia. Not only in West New York, but also in Union City. Most of
Where the fuck is the Puerto Rican mafia, and how do I get drafted into this shit, bro?
Well, what it is Cubans have been coming to the United States, I think, right around the same time with Puerto Rico, with the Puerto Ricans. But I don't know, somehow they mobilized in New Jersey, and they have they have their influences. Obviously there's been mayors that are Cuban. There's been, a lot of professionals, doctors, I could go on, commissioners, things like that. And there's absolutely a Cuban mob. And I remember the police force being investigated and the fact that the corruption came out and everything back in the day. I remember that.
I don't, that actually happened while I was in the army. So I don't remember it. But I also do not remember the little gambling machines they're talking about. I don't remember seeing those.
Listen, you want to laugh?
Yeah.
You want to laugh? My dad, Ray the Don, was absolutely a fiend for them shits. He was...
Where would he go to fuck with them?
Like, there was a big possibility to make money off them shits. There was one in a restaurant that used to be right on between 65th and 66th and Broadway. Right next to, you remember my man Brad's dry cleaner, Kuichi dry cleaner? There was a restaurant right next door.
Yeah. Shout out to B-Rad.
Excuse me, right next to the liquor store, across from Felipe's.
Yeah.
Grocery store. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there was a little restaurant he used to be in it. I'm talking about like he would either come home happy as hell or he'd come home fucking swole and shit because he lost hella money in them little the Joker poker machines they call them.
Swole and broke.
Yeah, man. And they was all over the town. All over.
Yo, I don't remember that, honestly. And that's crazy, bro. I hope the West New York police units? No, I guess just the West New York Police Department. I hope they're cleaned the fuck up. Again, shout out to the homie Mayor Gabe Rodriguez. I hope he's keeping them in line.
To the homie.
Is Gabe Cuban?
Yeah, he's Cuban, yeah.
Gabe is Cuban? Mr. Rodriguez is Cuban?
Yeah, Mr. Rodriguez.
Damn, I always thought he was Puerto Rican. I loved him a lot more.
What? You a fool.
But still, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they're Cuban, and but as with anything, you have a good and a bad, and there's a lot of good Cuban people in that town that we were influenced by and we grew up with. And like I said, we still practice a lot of Cuban culture and stuff, but just the fact that, man, I remember Popo being corrupt. Like I remember, like there was this black dude. He was cute. He was black Cuban. His name was Ruben, and he would fuck with us, bust our balls. But he was cool. Like he wouldn't like try to like lock us up or anything like that. But he would bust our balls. And this motherfucker was corrupt as hell, man. Not only was he dirty, but he was like drugs, everything, man. I remember that shit. He was part of that whole thing.
You want to know something? I wasn't even aware. Yo, I don't know what the fuck I was doing as a kid. I must have been oblivious. I wasn't even aware that the majority of West New York was Cuban.
What? Yeah, the vast majority. A lot of teachers.
I could have sworn it was like diverse, but like almost equally. You know what I mean? I didn't know we were outnumbered by the Cubans.
Oh, I mean, I could name you stores right now. Like El Bambi, the baby store, Casa Manito, and you're just talking about businesses, but man, like when you're talking about financial status, you're talking about political status, you're talking about
I'm just even
status.
talking about the majority of the population.
That too.
I didn't know it was
majority.
mainly Cuban. Yo, that's crazy to find out. But while we're here, shout out to Cuba. Shout out to everybody out there fighting for their freedom. Shout out to everybody here supporting everybody over there. Shout out to all the Latin countries that are showing their solidarity with Cuba. Heads up, keep your heads up, chin up, chest out. As always, carry yourself with honor, carry yourself with pride. To all my Cuban brothers and sisters, tough times don't last, tough people do, and the righteous cause will overcome, y'all. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Word up, man. Word up. And that's another thing. Like, we know about the struggles because just, that whole town, like I said, it's Cuban. It's funny because I be in New York and everybody in New York to me was like Puerto Rican and shit or Dominican, but mostly Puerto Rican. And then everybody in Jersey would be Cuban and shit. So I learned like from every culture. But, I know about their struggles with like, the communist shit and Fidel because the vast majority of people were Cuban. Felipe, the store owner, Mendoza's the store owner down the block. Everybody, man, was basically Cuban. And, it's funny because we had all our friends were Cuban too growing up, like Danny.
Yeah.
Big
Serge.
Bird, Sergio.
My ex-wifey, Vivi.
Shout out across
to her.
The street. Shout out to her. Vivi, Laz across the street. That was the dude that you used to drive around in the bread van. You know what I'm saying? So, just
Petey, Chef
cool
Petey
out,
too.
Chef Petey,
and now come to find out, Gabe and Mr. Rodriguez. That's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
But shout out to them. Make sure y'all go check out that documentary on Vice. It's pretty dope.
Facts.
And actually, that's about it, y'all. Again, happy birthday to baby girl Aaliyah. We are actually technically on vacation, so we just wanted to come in, drop a quick episode.
This is our special edition, huh?
Yeah, catch y'all up on a little bit of current events. And I wanted to premiere my new aliases that I've been working on. So, here we go. You ready?
Okay.
Before we get into the love song of the week, Pod Smoke is back.
Pod Smoke.
Rest in peace to Pop Smoke. This Pod Smoke. Cool. If you don't like that one, if you're from the 90s, maybe you don't like current Brooklyn, you like 90s Brooklyn, don't worry, because I got you, because Big Podpa is here. Okay. You might not like that one. You might be West Coast biased. That's okay, because Tupac Shakur is in the building.
Tupac. I like that one. That was good. Tupac.
All right. Are you into wrestling?
Yes.
Potty Piper's here.
Potty Piper, okay. All right, now they're getting better.
All right. You like basketball?
Yeah.
All right. Pod Strickland is on the court.
Dennis Podman.
You like reading books?
Go ahead.
Read the new book, Harry Potter. I only got one more. You like 80s? You like 80s rock?
Yeah.
Pod Stewart, baby.
Okay, no doubt. That was the best one right there.
Shout out to all my new aliases.
Oh shit! We're gonna premiere those on the Sauce Boys podcast when we drop that shit.
Oh yeah, when I kick y'all, when I go solo and y'all start.
We gotta have our own shit. We gotta have our spin.
The
spin podcast. Word up.
Oh man, shout out to all the listeners. Shout out to everybody checking in on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Once again, we are technically on vacation. This was just a little quick episode. I'm gonna hit y'all with the love song of the week, only because it's only me and you, pause. And this is a song that I don't really get to play with guests because I think it's kind of too slow and pause a little bit too sexy to play around other people. We don't have enough female guests.
Okay.
But this is a really dope song from the Slim and Queen soundtrack. Is by the homegirl Sid. She's in the group The Internet. She's also a member of Odd Future, the collective Odd Future. This is called It's Getting Late. It's by the homie Sid. Super sexy song. The M. Burnz Love Song of the Week for episode 71. Check it out, y'all.
For the ladies.
Shout out to all the ladies, shout out to all the wives, shout out to all the daughters, shout out to all the side pieces, the thotties, the sneaky links, the girls that don't DM you back, the ones that DM you when you're trying to ignore them, the stalkers, all of y'all. Shout out to all the listeners. Shout out as always to Brother F and Straight Fuego Studio. Shout out to our co-host VS who is on vacation. Shout out to my brother Bludshot.
Word out. Love you, kiddo.
One love, my brother. And shout out to everybody who's tuned in. We will be back with episode 72. We got the homie Ito coming up. After that, we got a couple. We got D Jones coming up. He signed to Jada Kiss. We got Jojo Pellegrino coming up. We got Artist 90 Degrees coming up. We got Dame Grease coming up. Few big things to end up the year. We got a lot of shit coming. Everybody make sure y'all tuned in. Make sure y'all following us on the socials. And Blood, you got to sign off for the people?
Man, you already know, my brother. This was a dope-ass little special edition episode. We got to talk some real shit. And we just had so many guests. We really haven't had like a chance to just talk us. So, I appreciate that. And man, just keep checking for us. The Gahhd Cast, man, we're gonna keep on rocking like we do.
You know it, my brother. As always, chin up, chest out. Carry yourself with honor. Carry yourself with pride. This has been episode 71 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. Brother Blood, get back to your vacation. Brother F, you going back to PR. Happy birthday belated to Brother F. Happy birthday, Aaliyah. Somebody hit my music.
Thank you, my bro.